Hello and welcome to Bourg-Saint-Maurice in the snowy French Alps. Finally, here is my review of the SsangYong Rexton Ultimate as a towing car. So if you've got a caravan or a horse box or a boat trailer, this is for you. We are just approaching the end now of a 6-week trip all around southern Europe. We left the UK and have been down through France, Portugal, right down to the southern tip of Spain, back up here to the French Alps, and then we're heading back to the UK tomorrow. So all in all, so far we've done over 3,000 miles with the SsangYong Rexton towing this beautiful Airstream Missouri. Now there are 3 models in the Rexton lineup, and this is the Ultimate. This is the top of the range. It only comes with an automatic gearbox, and with the metallic paint it goes through the tills at approximately £39,000. Compare that to the next level down, the ELX automatic. That goes through the tills at about £5,000 less, about £34,000. And then the EX model, which is the base range, which still has quite an impressive spec, with a manual box, that goes through the tills at just over £28,000. So no matter which one you choose, it does represent terrific value for money. And what's great now is that with the new Rexton, the warranty has been increased and is now an incredible 7 years. That's right, 7-year warranty. That's brilliant. So the way that this review is going to go as a tow car, as I say, we're going to start off with how it is for loading, how much equipment you can get into the back. Then we're going to talk about driving and the towing, how it performs as a tow car. And we're also going to talk about the technology and comfort in the cab. It's got an amazing amount of technology and driver comfort. So to kick off, let's go back a couple of weeks to sunny Spain, where I talk about the loading of the SsangYong Rexton Ultimate. The Ultimate only comes as a 5-seater. The other ranges offer 7 seats as an option. With the rear seats in place, you have 820 litres of load space and a cover. But as there is only me and the dog, I could fold these right away and avail myself of all the load space. And there's almost 2,000 litres of it. And I had plenty of kit to put in it. As well as my kitesurfing gear and snowboarding gear, there were photographic props for some of the images and videos I've been producing, caravan accessories, snow chains, and a good supply of British baked beans on the way down, and jars of Spanish chickpeas on the journey home. But it is the simplest of touches that impress me the most, and I love this false floor, rated up to 60 kilos, as I can have essential bits and pieces directly to hand, such as the nose weight gauge, torque wrench and levelling blocks for the caravan. Hitching up is a doddle thanks to a clear reversing camera. It's a one-person job. The tow bar is manufactured by Witter. I've had to clip a carabiner to the hole for the breakaway cable. That's simply because the breakaway cable clip on my Airstream's BPW chassis did not fit the coupling eye, so I could loop it through the carabiner instead. It's a simple and effective workaround. But it's in this area I discovered the Rexton's only fault. Reversing with the caravan plugged in did not kill the reversing sensors. This will require attention from SsangYong, but I guess that's what 7-year warranties are for. The selectable 4x4 came in very handy when I was towing off of a muddy pitch. I could put it into low ratio, and towing off a snowy pitch. Towing on snowy roads, leaving it in 4x4 high ratio proved to be invaluable. It was extremely stable and held the road very well. So now we're hitched up, what is it like as a tow car? So what is the Rexton like to drive? Well, I think to sum it up in one word, comfortable. If you want a car that you can throw around the corners and it's going to handle as if it's on rails, don't buy a Rexton. If you want a car that is going to tow your caravan or your horse box or your boat, and the trailer is going to stick to the road as if it's on rails, buy a Rexton. The thing that has impressed me the most about this car, as well as the comfort aspect, and of course the value for money and the warranty, is how stable the Caravan has been. Obviously attributable to the ladder chassis that the SsangYong is built on, but really the Caravan we've done so far, let's have a look. We've done approaching 3,000 miles now, and in all that time the Caravan has followed the car as if it is on rails. There's been no problems at all with any stability issues, and where we point the car, the Caravan goes. So I am so impressed with the towing stability of this car. Now, full disclosure here, normally I prefer manual gearboxes, and I also admit to driving with a very light right foot. I am not a speed freak, at least not when I'm driving a car. That's why I've got a motorbike. For someone like me, this is absolutely ideal. Because of the weight of the car, it is 2.2 tons and you have a 2.2 engine. That combination isn't gonna set your pants on fire when you're towing a Caravan. So it's not exactly underpowered, it's more than adequate for the job. It doesn't have that oomph that, for example, a 2.5 or a 3 litre would have. It really does work hard. And that brings me to the one huge downside of this car, really the only downside I can think of, which is the fuel costs and the consumption. Towing the Caravan, the car has returned approximately 22 miles per gallon. Solo, we've reached the very best, the low 30s miles per gallon. So that's not a great result for a modern car. However, you do have to offset that with the fantastic purchase price, but it's just something to be aware of. Obviously, when you don't have a Caravan or a horse box attached, the car is absolutely fine. And the other thing I've noticed is when I've been solo, normally it's to trip down to the shops or go somewhere and I need to park. It's really easy to park, especially the Ultimate with all the cameras all the way round. I don't find it too big. I am quite used to large cars, but I don't find it frighteningly large. It's fairly easy to maneuver around town, to park, so don't be put off by the size of it. It really is quite easy to drive solo. But crucially, going back to that original point about driving this car, that number one quality as far as I'm concerned is comfort. It's quiet, it's smooth, it irons out the bumps, but not so much that you can't feel where you're driving. And as you can hear, it's just a nice quiet cabin. The seats are really comfortable. I really do like the seats, and trust me, I do speak up if I don't find the seats comfortable. Obviously they're fully adjustable, heated, cooled. I don't use any of that, but I do find that it's just a really comfortable driving position. And you've got all your climate control, all the little toys, gadgets and everything that you would expect to make the driving experience a pleasurable one. I find the technology very good. We'll go into that in a moment. But the Apple CarPlay, so I can play my podcasts and while away the long journeys. And I just find that when I get to my destination, even towing the Caravan, because it's so stable, so comfortable, so smooth, that I'm not as tired as I would expect to be after a long journey. The automatic gearbox that comes with the Ultimate as standard and is a cost option on the other ranges, I found that to be absolutely fine. Although I prefer manual boxes, it's been really good for these long journeys where you can just put the cruise control on, stick it in drive and off you go. It's also been obviously really useful when we've been stuck in traffic, so I'm not always using my clutch. The one thing I would say about it is that while it's absolutely fine, when we've been wanting to make a quick getaway from a roundabout or a junction, sometimes it's just a little bit hesitant with the Caravan on the back. You put your foot down and it goes, oh, what, you want me to go? Oh, okay. And it's just that little gap that you don't get with a manual. I think that's more to do with getting used to an automatic box than any fault with the car, but it's just something that I noticed being someone who prefers manual gearboxes. All in all, the driving experience is great. I enjoy it, I love it. I think this is the perfect car that we could have ever asked for to do a long trip like this, 4,000 miles towing a Caravan. It's performed well. I really do like it. So that is the driving experience. Now, when we get to the site, I shall talk about the in-car technology. We've covered the fantastic reversing camera, which is great to assist in hitching up, but it also helps when you're parking the car. All-around cameras and sensors make parking an absolute doddle. There are loads of driving safety features on the Ultimate, including lane departure warning and blind spot detection. This was really useful on long, tedious drives. Locking the car, as expected, is by a smart key system that also closes the windows. One great touch with the Ultimate is the smart tailgate, which, if you stand next to it with the key in your pocket, will open automatically. You can isolate this function if you don't want it. Sat Nav is by TomTom, and I found it to be very reliable. Apple CarPlay and Google Android Auto is also built in. I didn't realise how useful this would be until I discovered that it could both read and transmit dictated text messages and allow easy access to my podcasts. Do be aware that when using the phone, it will kill the Sat Nav display. You can, of course, replicate the Sat Nav directions in the dashboard display while you're on a call. Or, as a workaround, you can use Google Maps, which still works even when you're on the phone. For this little workaround, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Karina and Jules from the channel Here We Tow. They have owned a Rexton ELX for the past 12 months, so do check out their channel for their review of the SsangYong Rexton ELX. Now that I've had Apple CarPlay, I don't want to be without it. But there is one feature in this car that, when we hit the chilly weather in the French Alps, it became a game changer. That is the heated steering wheel. Yes, the car has heated seats, which are also very comfortable, but the heated steering wheel is amazing in the mornings when you've got chilly fingers. It also has a fast defrosting windscreen, which was brilliant in the icy weather. So there you have it. There's my little review of the SsangYong Rexton Ultimate. As you can probably tell, I rather like this car. Just one or two very minor reservations, like the fuel consumption, but other than that, it really is a terrific car. If any of my friends said they were going to be buying one, I would be absolutely delighted for them. Some people have put a question mark over the residual values of these cars. However, you need to offset that with the 7-year warranty. Personally, I think if you're buying a new car, it's always with a view to keeping it for 5 years anyway, and if you can keep it 7 years, I think residuals become far less of an issue than if you replace your car every year or two. Anyway, if you do have any further questions about the technical specs or anything like that with the car, please do check out the SsangYong website. I'll put a link in the description below. And in the meantime, it just leaves me to say, from Dougal, who's in his little travel box back there, and from me, thanks for tuning in. Taking it easy under there, Dougal. Yeah, I'm busy working. Oh, you're taking it easy. You are.